The Director General of the National Council on Climate Change, NCCC Secretariat and Special Presidential Envoy on Climate Change has reiterated the commitment to work in synergy and collaborate with stakeholders to bridge the gap with all groups to strengthen the resilience of vulnerable people and ensure that persons with disabilities are empowered to be part of the change makers needed to push Nigeria's climate action and implementation to the right level. She noted that persons with disabilities often face greater challenges in adapting to these changes due to factors as limited mobility, pre-existing health conditions, and reduction of access to healthcare and supporting services.
As a secretariat of the Council, we have a critical role to play to drive this agenda forward. And we cannot do it in isolation. We refuse to work in silo. We choose synergy, collaboration, and bridging the gap with all groups, persons, to ensure that we further strengthen the resilience of our vulnerable groups, to ensure that persons living with disability are empowered to be part of the change makers that we need to push Nigeria's climate action and implementation to where we need it to be.
Speaking, Patience Ogulu Dixon, the founder advocacy for women with disabilities, WWD, said the program was organized to highlight the issues women and girls and the elderly with disabilities face when there are climate change and disaster management issues occurring. Also speaking, Adebukola Adebayo, Disability and Inclusive Development Consultant, called on the government to implement policies already on ground in favor of people with disabilities in Nigeria.
So that is one of the reasons we are doing this, so that we want to start highlighting the issues of climate change and its impact on persons with disability, particularly women with disability. Then if you begin to imagine women on the wheelchair, women who are deaf, women who are blind, women with albinism. So the scunging of the sun is a lot for women with albinism, persons with albinism. Then women who are deaf, they do not have enough information around climate change. Okay, where there is a wave, crisis, and all of that going on, there is no information passed to them because sign language interpreter or communication is missing from this system. Then women who are physically challenged or women who are blind. So think of when there is flooding, think of when there is environmental degradation and things like that. What happens to this set of women? Okay, people can take a cover somewhere, but there are some people that do not have, that have affected by one form of impairment or the other.
People with disabilities are among the most affected when climate change induced crises happen. They are the least targeted when it comes to rescue, protection, and things like that. And they are among the casualties, usually higher casualties of climate change, whether it's flooding, whether it's any form of climate change induced crisis that you can think of, or any other emergency as that. So what we can do is that government should begin to look at its policies. We might need to look at how to review policy to capture the concerns of people with disabilities, and of course to put structures in place to implement those policies.
Recognizing the challenges by people with disabilities, Nigeria needs to research and invest in innovative development to address specific health and security challenges that are faced by these very essential groups in the changing climate.